2-week holiday to China in the late 90s, I decided to open my own little restaurant, cram-packed with authentic Chinese food. Today, that little restaurant is Southend's premier Oriental eatery. So come and see me, Barry Barlow, and my team at Beijing, where our chow is the main attraction. Say this food is SHT on ordering to get a 10% discount. Mondays 10 till 10:30am.
Hello everybody, this is Steve Hayden-Taylor, back once again with another SHT review. Slightly different format today. What I've decided is that I've got so many bleeding requests for basically reviews on different things, and so I thought the best way to go about it is to combine them. So I've come up with this new kind of format. I won't always do it, but at the moment, as I say, I am struggling to fit in all the reviews. So I'm certainly going to do this a bit more often. Okay, so we've got 2 items here today. I'm just going to stand up so you can see the packaging. Once again, if you've seen one of my other reviews, can't remember which one it was now. I think it might have been Skizzors, or it might have been another one. You have seen this packaging already, okay? I ain't going to lie to you. I've actually reused this packaging. Apparently, and I don't buy into all this nonsense, to be fair. Apparently, the manufacture and sale of this type of packaging is bad for the sea. That's what I read. It is bad for the animals in the sea. For a start, I don't have animals in the sea. They're fish. Okay. Secondly, if I was a fish, I got no arms, no way of carrying things. While I'm scooting around on the seabed, if I want to get hold of some food, quite a lot of food to take back to my place that I live, wherever that is, particularly the stone or under a rock or next to a little bit of weed or something, this sort of thing would come in handy. So if these things end up in the sea because people throw them away and they float into the sea, well, to be fair, the fish are probably happy about it. Okay, so I sat myself down. As those of you who are big fans of mine will know, I do have back problems. I've recently been to see a chiropractor to discuss it. I've only been there once. They reckon it's mainly to do with my job sitting down. I mean, the doctor's already said that. They said there's not much they can do unless I start leading a more active lifestyle. An active lifestyle. Well, I'm going to try. I'll be a bit more energetic in my reviews, but I don't know how that'll go. Anyway, so I've opened the packaging up. All right, I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to take this first item out. Now I'll put that there. 1 second, and then get the next one out. Get out. Right, put this to one side, and I'm going to show you what I have purchased, both of which I'm very excited about. Okay, so what you can see here, on the left-hand side, we have something called a magnifying glass. Now, the observant amongst you, and I know some of you are pretty observant, will see that I've put a piece of paper on the corner there. Okay, I haven't cut this piece of paper very well. As you can see, it's torn because I've gone and lost my Skizzors, which I reviewed recently. I've literally tipped the house inside out. Yeah, it's been tipped inside out, but I cannot find those Skizzors anywhere. I don't know whether the missus is using them. I don't know whether one of my boys has got them. But they're both out, so I can't. Anyway. Hopefully I will find them because I do not know where I'll get another pair of those. Anyway, so what I've done is I've torn some paper, taped it around the edge. Why have you done that? I hear you saying. Why, Steve? Well, I shall tell you. It's because there's a picture there. Very annoyingly, there is a picture in the corner there that gives away what this little tool does. And I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise for you. I didn't want you to, what can I say, basically get less excited by the fact that you already knew roughly what was going to happen. So anyway, we don't want any of that, so I've put that on there just to keep the surprise for your good selves. On the right, we have something that is called Everyday Value Chicken and Mushroom Flavour Noodles. Okay, chicken and mushroom flavour noodles. What these are, as far as I'm aware, is, well, I know it's a food. I've done a little bit of research. Noodles, they're a food from China. This isn't made in China, as I've found out, I will explain this to you in a little bit, annoyingly, but it's supposed to be from China. Okay, it's supposed to be a food that replicates what the Chinese people would eat. Okay, a bit like the Uncle Ben's stuff that I showed you before in a previous review. Yeah, the stuff that that Ben the liar makes, because he said it. Well, he made out that all his food was really tasty, and it ain't. Anyway, hopefully you have a bit better luck with this one. So it's called Tesco Everyday Value. It is a noodle meal. If rumour is to be believed, it is going to taste like chicken and mushroom. Okay, as it says, that is the flavour of them. But anyway, we'll go into that in a second. But what I want to do is, first of all, put this to one side, is I'm going to show you the magnifying glass. I myself have never used one. I have heard tell of these, and I've done a bit of research online before I invested in it. But if what I've read is to be believed about this one, it is going to be something really quite special. Okay, so I've prized this open. Obviously, I need to do this. I need to put me bloody camera down, don't I, in order that I can do this, because I've only got two hands. I must invest in some kind of stand or something at some point, because it is getting a little bit ridiculous. But anyway, so what I've done is I've prized this open. Now, as I did this, I noticed something very strange. The sort of the bubbly bit on top of the packaging, which seems to be very in vogue, particularly at Tesco. It has like a shape here. I don't know if you can see this, and a shape here. Now the handle for the magnifying glass comes down here, and this bit's empty. So I don't know if they've left something out or what. I do not know. Very, very confusing. Oh, a little bit of paper's coming away there. Don't want to spoil the surprise. Okay, so let's take this out. Now this particular item, I'll tell you what, that has got a nice weight to it. It's got a nice weight to it. Okay. This particular item is magic, basically. I'll be honest with you, it is magic. Now let's see if it works. It's the first time I've used this, and you might be able to see what this little guy does. It has made the vision ever so slightly bigger. Okay, what that's doing is, as I say, I've done a little bit of research, it is magnifying it. What is magnifying, I hear you say? Magnifying, it's going out of bloody focus, isn't it? Stupid thing. Magnifying is when an image is enlarged, it gets bigger. All right. So what this is used for, if I bring this down here, it's used for making things easier to read. Now, if you read what it says down there, I'm going to use the magnifying glass to read its own packaging. How cool is that? It says use for reading small print. Okay, that's small letters on pages. Okay, or performing intricate work easily. Now, like you, I didn't know what the hell intricate meant either. I looked it up. It means stuff that's a bit fiddly. I'll tell you what, the manufacturing quality of this, although it's got a nice bit of weight to it, it leaves a little bit to be desired, which is shocking considering it did cost one whole English pound. But you can see, if you look carefully, it's a bit shoddily put together. Okay, so this is the other item that I am reviewing today, alongside the magnifying glass, the noodles. Okay, now these are they're apparently a dry food. Now what this means is they need to have water added to them. I've heard about these dry foods before. Okay, I've never had any. All right, and everyone says that yeah, you need to wet them before you eat them. All right, so in this case, you add hot water to it. However, I thought what I want to do first is to find out what it would taste like if I didn't do that. Okay, so I want to find out what it would be like to eat it a little tiny bit dry. The reason for that is because in an ideal world, you know, if I go out, let's say going out to the football, or if I'm going down to the beach or whatever. I don't live near the beach, by the way. Well, fairly close to the beach. For those of you who don't know, I live in a little place called Leigh-on-Sea, which is in Essex. Absolutely gorgeous place. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the world, to be honest. But anyway, my house isn't right by the sea. It's a little bit inland because it's pretty costly. It's one of the most costly places sort of to live on this edge of the country. And so, yeah, I can't afford a beach house. But what I can walk to the beach in like 10, 15 minutes. Anyway, I'm going a little bit off the track there.
I might want to take one of these to the beach. Now on the beach, obviously the sea's full of water, but it's got salt and, you know, horrible bits and pieces in it as well. So I wouldn't want to use that. So I was wondering, can I eat this dry? Before I dive in and have a little nosh on this dry, I'll just give you a quick walk around of the packaging. All right. So it's it ain't that glitzy. If we get close like this, okay. Actually, hang on. Let's try this, shall we? I tell you what, this is actually quite rubbish. Yeah, I'm pretty surprised. Now, some of the ones I saw on the television, they look really good. Like you put it against something and it suddenly got really big. This is not very good. I tell you what, I'm bloody disappointed with this. In fact, just quickly, right, I've had enough. I'm coming back here, back to the packaging. Now, I've taken that little bit of paper off. If you have a little look how bloody big that makes it. Look how bloody big, right? And if I was to use that magnifying glass on here, hardly makes it any bigger at all. So that is a bit of a lie. That is a lie. So this thing, even on its first test, really, is proving to be a little bit rubbish. Yeah, a little bit. Look at that, and look at that on the edge there. You see that? It's a bloody great chip on there. I may well have wasted my money here. We'll see if we can find another use for it, because it ain't very good at what it says it's going to do. All right. I was annoyed when I bought it as well, because the packaging's all bent up, and obviously that's going to decrease the value. To be quite honest, I don't give a toss because it's crap. All right, putting that over there. Just moving around here, you've got the ingredients. Now, I did note underneath the ingredients, there's something that says allergy advice. All right, allergy. On further investigation, that means how can I explain it simply? If you eat something and it makes you ill, right? So let's say, for example, if I had an allergy to beef burgers and I had a beef burger and it gave me a dicky belly, that's because I got an allergy to it. All right. So what this does here, it says for allergens, which I believe are what causes the allergies, including cereals containing gluten, see ingredients in bold. So if we go to the ingredients up here, you can see that these things are in bold. Now look at this, because I couldn't believe this. They've put wheat in bold. Who's ever heard of anyone having some sort of like intolerance to wheat? Moving round, we've got the nutrition. Now the nutrition, it breaks down what's in here in terms of different like parts to it. So you've got things like energy, how much energy have they put in here, fat, how much fat they put in, and if you notice down here, they've got fibre. Now, we're all very familiar with what fibre is. It's what keeps you a regular, so to speak. We don't need to go into details, but it does help you when visiting the toilet for a number 2. Each pot contains, 1.5 g of fibre. Now, from what I can tell, 1.5 g is far in excess of what your daily intake should be for fibre. So this stuff is going to keep you properly regular. All right, this stuff is going to let you it's going to let it walk out. I'll be honest with you. That is obviously a bit of a bonus. As I said before, this is basically a Chinese food. So what the hell they're doing, making it in Welwyn Garden City, which says in the UK. Now, like you, I didn't have a bloody clue where that was, so I looked it up on the Google Maps. I'm going to put this in after the video, so if you look on the screen now, you'll be able to see it. Okay. Now, Welwyn Garden City, is a place in the UK, right? And as you can see on this picture, this is the actual top-down sort of crow's eye view, I suppose you'd say, of the building itself. Okay, shot using a satellite dish. It sort of feels just like a sort of a fairly cheap kind of plastic skin. Yeah, it was almost like a drum. The strange thing here, I can't work this out. So if anyone knows anything more about this, can you please put a comment on here, because I'm confused. It says, because we know we've got to add some wet to it, but it says add boiling water to here. Can you see that? It says add boiling water to here. Now, unless I'm being bloody stupid, how the hell I'm going to get any water in there? Because there ain't even a hole, right? There's no hole there. There's not a little door or anything you can puncture. I mean, am I supposed to stab this with a knife and try and get some water in there? Because I do not understand. As I said, I want to taste it dry to see what it's like. Hopefully it will taste all right. Hopefully it will taste quite nice, because this is, you know, it's not an expensive food. It's 35p, but if this is basically a lunch that I can have on the beach, then all the better. Okay, so let's get this open. I'll do this with one hand, I think. Let's have a look. If I do this like this and then, here we go, get this back like so. Inside, it looks interesting. Let me just give this a little whiff. Yeah, it's not making me feel hungry, I'll be honest with you. It doesn't smell brilliant, but anyway, we will soldier on. Now what I can notice there's a little yellow bit in there. I don't know if you can see that. Try and get in. A little yellow bit there. Now I reckon that is, it's either a bit of chicken or it's a bit of mushroom. The other bits, I guess, are the noodles. All right, so let's have a little look at this. So what, you know, that is dry. I can see that is going to be, it's not going to be ideal to eat. I will give it a go, but it does look dry. Okay, so I've got myself a fork. There we go. I'm sure most of you know what one of those is. Now the Chinese, believe it or not, don't use forks. I know it sounds crazy, but they use sticks. Right? They basically have a stick and they dip the stick in and then they try and balance it on there all the way up to their mouths. I don't understand why, because a fork, you know, it's got these little prongs on it. It's shaped to kind of scoop things. So to me, this seems to work better. Anyway, let's try and get some of these out. Just a few little bits. See what this it's quite difficult, I tell you what. Mainly because it's dry. Right, I'm going to bring that up to my mouth. Have a little go on this. Oh. Oh, sec. You cannot eat this dry. You cannot eat this dry. That doesn't taste right at all. That does not taste right at all. Oh, that is minging. Okay, so that didn't taste very nice. You cannot eat it dry. There's absolutely no two ways about that. It's not meant to be eaten dry. It is frankly horrible. I won't forget that, Nari. I just literally had to nip off. I was gargling water for a little while, which sort of took away some of the taste, and then I had to get a little bit of the old Colgate out and rub it on my gums. It was horrible. Anyway, I waited for the minty taste of the toothpaste to go, and now I'm ready. I don't know if you can see any steam there. Doesn't pick up very well on the camera, but what I've done is I've put some boiling water into a gravy boat. Now the reason for it is because I'm going to try and do as they suggest. So I thought if I want to test it properly, I can't just put the water all over it like that. I will follow what they say, and I will add the boiling water to here. So I'm just going to put the camera down for a second and cut myself a hole. Okay, success. I've managed, after a lot of fiddling around, to make a hole here. Why on earth, because looking through it, if I go around this way, why you would have to pour the water through there, I cannot fathom. Oh, it's going through, it's going through, it's going through. Problem is, I don't know how much to put in there, because they don't tell you that, do they? Oh. Right, now as you can see, come back round here. Okay, I have put some water in there. Now the instructions say, if I lift it up here, where are we? Oh, I've just literally spilt bloody boiling water over an hole. I tell you what, this is becoming more hassle than it's worth. Hang on, let me just, it's gone all over me, it actually really hurts. Hang on a second. Alright, we're back. I've scalded me bloody leg. I've got this sort of chickeny, smelly water all over my legs as well. On my jeans, new jeans, clean on the day as well. So I'm gonna have to go back in a bloody wash. Mrs is gonna be livid with me. What I was trying to show you, okay, I'll try this more carefully, is the cooking instructions. It says add boiling water, which I've done, up to the fill line. Where is the fill line? There is no. There. Well, they could have been a bit more explicit, couldn't they? They could have been a bit more bloody obvious. I see. Add boiling water to this line. Why didn't they say to the line? It says add boiling water to here. I mean, already I can say in terms of the review, the instructions are rubbish. Okay, the instructions are absolutely rubbish. It's led to me basically scolding myself. Luckily, I'm not one of those sorts of people that go on to one of those telephone things you see on the telly and try and get money out of Tesco, because I don't believe in that sort of thing. I think it's a sort of a capitalist Americanism, and I wouldn't go down that road. But they really need to make that clearer, because I've scalded my leg. I've made a bloody great hole in the side of me eating vessel now, so that's really not very good. Anyway, back to the instructions. Where is it? Oh dear, I've got to be careful I don't burn myself again. So, ooh, where are they? There they are. So, I have as well, haven't I? Bloody thing. Right, I'm not going to show you that again, but basically it says put some boiling water in there, leave it for a couple of minutes, okay, and then we'll just tell it here, stir thoroughly, stand for a further 2 minutes, stir before eating, right? Okay, so let me just get this in here. I'll give it a bit of a stir. What a day it's been already. What a day. I bought a magnifying glass that don't bleeding work. I've covered myself in hot chicken water. Got it all over my jeans, all over my carpet. Wife's going to go mental when she gets home. I'm just going to stir this round. At least, hopefully, when this is fully cooked, it'll taste nice. Because if it ain't going to taste nice, I ain't going to be happy at all. Okay. Just come down here. Grab a little bit of this. And try a little bit more of this. I'll show you what, that is bloody delicious. So, after a very traumatic afternoon of reviewing, I've finally found a little glimmer of gold in my day, which is that these things taste absolutely bloody brilliant. I'll tell you what, you will not go into a restaurant and taste anything that's much better than that for a lot more money. It tastes very chickeny. I do get a hint of mushroom coming through there as well. It's got a lovely soft texture. And I'll tell you what, even after a few mouthfuls, it's starting to fill me up. Knowing it's got all that fibre in there is a bonus. And like I say, it is. I mean, the name is true. Everyday value. Yeah, you could buy this every day and you will be getting value for money. I would advise you do. Okay, one other little thing. Again, this is not quite as good, but it is a slight glimmer. If I bring this back over here, what you can do, if these are too hot, which they are when you first put your water in, if I come over here, right, just lay that down there, get another dollop here, put those in there, like so. What you can do is you lay it out on one of these magnifying glasses. It almost comes like a little serving plate. And the advantage of this is because they were very hot, they cool down quite quickly. So you can just pick up your little noodle worms like this, and you can eat them like that. So taking both these out, you know, it's cost £1.35p, and I've got myself a nutritious and tasty meal. And even though it doesn't do what it says it was going to do, you can use this as a little serving tray, and you could even bring it up to your mouth and have a little lick afterwards. Get all that nice kind of chickeny, mushroomy juice off there. Anyway, this has been Steve Hayden-Taylor once again. This is SHT Reviews. Thank you very much for joining. Just remember, if you get one of these, you don't need to punch a hole in the side and put hot water through. It is not the way to do it, and you may hurt yourself. So instead, what you want to do is you put the water in the top. When you take that lid off, you just pop the water in there, leave it 2 minutes, stir it another 2 minutes, stir it before you eat it, and it is absolutely smashing. Okay, I hope you have a less traumatic day today than I've had, and I will certainly see you soon.